now it is time, ladies and gentlemen, for our keynote address on financial institutions versus cyber criminals, big stakes cyber war. And right now at the World Cybersecurity Summit Oman, we're joined by Dr. Erdal Ozkaya, the regional CISO, Standard Chartered Bank, UAE. Dr. Erdal, known as a passionate, solutions-focused professional with a comprehensive global background within the information technology, information security, and cybersecurity fields. He's also a public speaker, an award-winning technical expert, a book author, and a writer of certifications, courseware, and exams for prestigious organizations such as Microsoft, EC Council, and other expert-level vendors. Thank you so much, Dr. Erdal, for joining us today and taking out your valuable time. With this, the stage and screen is all yours.
The pleasure is mine. Thank you again for the invitation. And I would like to greet everybody who's watching us. Hello from Dubai to Oman. All right, let's talk about cybersecurity for financial institutions versus criminals. We all, by the way, you had the introduction already. I don't have to introduce myself as well. Most of you know me through my books. Again, this was introduced. I'm just gonna let it go. We all know the world has changed, but one thing never changed so far. We always had criminals, especially around the financial sector. But before we go there, I want to quickly talk about the changes that we had in the last year, which everybody is aware of. A little virus that we cannot even see put most of us on home jail. We could not go out. We have to wear uncomfortable masks. We have to, keep social distancing. It changed the way we live, the way we talk to each other, the way we communicate. We used to hug each other or shake hands. Now we have to keep social distance. We used to go to sport games. Now, even when you go to mall, they have limited numbers. I mean, in Oman, as we all know, now, there are still some restrictions to protect the citizens or the residents of Oman. We have to wear a mask and so on. When we look at the details, not just the way we live has changed, also the way we work, the way we attend conferences. And this conference is supposed to be face-to-face. We're supposed to, exchange business cards, or have interaction face to face, but now, as you just did it a few minutes ago, you had to do it virtually. Of course, all these changes has affected the banking industry as well. The shift on consumers' digital experience, adoption of the next-gen technologies, the transformation of customer service to customer engagement, the use of mobile work first, has enforced everybody to have the right size of branch network. You notice most of the banks, they shrinking down of the size of their branches, not because the business is going down, but because the people they can visit the branches is going down. Because most of the stuff that you could do in a branch now you can do with your mobile phone, unless you need to take some physical money out, big amount that you cannot do in ATM, or open an account, or, there is really not that much need to see a teller or a banking personnel in the branch anymore. But this has also changed the way that we get hacked, right? I asked as a question, right, because I'm pretty sure all of you heard about threat actor group called Lazarus, or a few years ago you heard about a virus called Carbanac. I mean, it's like it sounds, Carbanac. It sounds maybe not that dangerous, like COVID-19, for example. But that Carbanac virus hit 100 banks, and they lost $1 billion US. I repeat, $1 billion US, which is physically weighed more than 1 ton of paper, was physically actually stolen. When we look at the banking sector, for hundreds of years, the banking sector is under attack, not because we are bad, because we got the money. First, it was physical theft. People needed to, stop the postcards, which, which were transferring the. I'm pretty sure you watched the Western movie, where people had to, stop the cars and they steal the money physically. Then people started to, thieves started to go to branches and started to robbery. And the picture in the right hand of the screen, you will see a German thief from 1931 who was actually trying to steal the money. I'm pretty sure you watched the famous TV show, at least you heard about it, Money Heist. So things change from physical to virtual when it comes to work, when it comes to shopping, when it comes to attending conferences, and unfortunately, when it comes to getting hacked. Today, most of the cyber attacks happening, most of the cyber attacks to banking is now, I didn't hear any physical robbery in the last 1 year, probably, at least nothing which came to my attention. But when I look at the news, I can see that lots of banks getting hacked, if not daily, weekly. And those are just news from the last 2 to 5 months. Unfortunately, we see more and more cyber attacks when it comes to bank. But why? Why is the question? Most of the banks, they're old. They are in the business for years, and most probably they have legacy applications, legacy operating systems. Some staff work for the bank for more than 20 years and who never saw an outside environment to understand the real threat of cybersecurity. And unfortunately, in some banks, and I'm not talking about, I work currently for a bank. Yes, I know, but in my previous role, I used to work as a cybersecurity architect, trusted security advisor in a very large computer, in Microsoft. I was working for Microsoft, and I visited so many banks across the globe. I saw people, they have big titles such as CIO, CISO, but honestly, they would not understand the technology and the latest threats. I'm pretty sure you heard the word from James Comey. He says there is 2 types of organizations. 1, they know they've been hacked. 2, they don't. I made my own version of the saying. There is 2 types of organizations. 1, they hire the right talents and build a cybersecurity strategy before they get hacked. 2, they don't. Unfortunately, some of the organizations do that after they get hacked. And you saw the news. What's happening in the news? Everybody believes they have the best security solutions. They believe a firewall, an antivirus, or an endpoint detection system, or a good cybersecurity professional is going to stop the attack. No. Unfortunately, no, there is no single solution. It's combined of solutions that we need today to protect tomorrow. So what happened in the past is usually a good indication for us to be able to forecast what's going to happen in the future. Just a couple of cybersecurity rewind on what happened in 2020, on 2029 as well. There was a cyber attack nearly every 39 seconds. The global cost of cybercrime was more than 445 billion across all industries. More than 30,000 websites were hacked daily. Ransomware attacks. Just last week, one of the world's largest hardware computer manufacturing firm were demanded for ransomware to pay $50 million US. Again, a couple of months ago, one of the world's cybersecurity firms, one of the largest cybersecurity firms, were hacked through a complex cybersecurity attack. Yes, the attack was really complex. It was through third-party supply chain attack. But when they looked at the root of the attack, unfortunately, the ex-CEO of the company admitted that it was an intern fault who was using SolarWinds 123 as password. Remember my saying, there are two types of organizations. One, they hire the right talent. I mean, this guy was a CEO managing a very big organization, but he has no clue of cybersecurity, or he didn't have the knowledge to have a proper cybersecurity firm or talent to help him to understand. As a result, he's an ex-CEO, still probably keeping the millions that he earned, but like lots of his customers as well as partners to get hacked. So in reality, you know, the statistics, you can read it yourself. It takes up to 11 months to detect a cyber attack. This was the case at Carbanac. This was the case on the news articles that you saw a few minutes ago. So what is going to happen this year? Is 2021 going to be sunny in terms of cybersecurity? Honestly, look, I had this presentation. Please go to my YouTube channel. Late last year in December, I said ransomware attacks going to be staying in headlines. You know, not because I wrote a book called Incident Response in the Age of the Cloud. I was able to see that. It was obvious. Ransomware is a cash collector, as known as cash collector. Most of the state-sponsored hackers gonna use this as a tool to hack. As I said a few minutes ago, as we started to work remotely, of course, the hack's gonna be shift to home computing, which I believe it's a bit easier to hack compared to corporate networks. So financial institution has to follow the basics. You know, in very possible, kill the legacy applications. Be up to date all the time with their hardware, firmwares, as well as softwares. Implement some protective mechanisms such as MFA, such as XDR, such as having the, you know, not just the software, but have also the right people to drive this environment. I always give this example. Let's give a Ferrari to my grandmother. She is a really not a good driver. And let's give a Hyundai i20 to Hamilton, the world champion driver. In a long-term race, who do you think will win? My grandmother, who is not a good driver in a very good car, or world's best driver in an average car in terms of speed? I think we all can guess the answers. What I'm trying to say is the hacks going to be there around 5G attacks, cloud attacks, but it's our job to understand what's happening in the market, keep an eye, and build a cybersecurity culture which will protect the environment. I mean, me as CISO, you as CIO, as CEO, you name it what you are, we are all equally responsible to create a culture where everybody can contribute towards security. Look, hackers, doesn't matter which industry they attack, they have to find only one vulnerability, one attack vector, and they have to be successful end-to-end. Out of me as defender, out of, you know, for example, let's say I'm chartered, we are 160 years old. We are more than 50 countries in. We have 100,000 employees and partners and contractors. We have God knows how many devices. I have to, I mean, in my region, but my group CISO has to protect everything end to end. So one versus millions of assets to protect. If we can create the right culture, all what you have to do is detect one part of the attack, which will make us, you know, which will make us more secure, because we can stop the rest of the attack most probably through that. With this, I think I'm coming towards the end of my presentation. If you go and tweet about the session or subscribe to one of these channels, one of you is gonna win this book signed by me under your name. So if you have any question, please do ask. If not, I think my time is over. It was a pleasure to present here, and hopefully I will see most of you soon in a face-to-face event. Thank you very much. Any questions?
Thank you, Dr. Erdal. Thank you for that brilliant presentation. Well, right now, currently, we do not have any live questions, but as you rightly said, to keep in touch on all your social media handles, and I'm sure the winner of the personally signed book would be really excited on that. So we wish all the attendees good luck on that same front. So thank you so much, Dr. Erdal, for joining us today.